So, if you have not seen the video that I posted a couple hours ago, yeah, my laptop literally exploded, and it was due to a stupid, faulty replacement battery. So, everything is okay, although there was literally a little bit of fire in the room that I was in. And fortunately, I put the laptop when it exploded. I had put the laptop down like 5 minutes before, so thank God I didn't get hurt. Anyway, so I have to, since of course I can't use my laptop, which is what I make all my videos, all my non-talking videos out of. I gotta stick to just recording on my phone and just talking to you guys. So I'm sorry, I gotta upload some just these boring chat videos for the time being that take, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, but I gotta do it till the whole situation is resolved. Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna get to my weekly predictions for week 10 now. I don't know what my overall is, but I'll write it in the description box for this video. Anyway, so to start off tonight, we got Browns and the Ravens, and I'm going Browns 20 and Ravens 25. So I was very impressed by the way that the Ravens defense held the Steelers offense to very little for a majority of that game last week. But I am aware that even though the Browns have been as bad as they have been for the past few seasons, they've managed to give Baltimore some pretty good games. Take last year for example, that blocked field goal that just prevented the Browns from sweeping the Ravens last year. So had the Ravens actually lost to Pittsburgh, I think I might have actually picked the Browns to pull off an upset here. Although I'm gonna stick with the Ravens because it's just overall pretty safer bet. Alright, so moving on, it's the Rams and the Jets, and my pick is Rams 10 and Jets 24. Alright, dear Los Angeles, start Jared Goff, for fuck's sake. Case Keenum has been a disaster this whole season, yet he won't get benched. Rams fans, I'm sorry, but the Jets defense is going to be all over Rams offense here. Moving on, we got Packers and Titans, and I think this is going to be actually one of the games I'm looking forward to the most for this week. My score prediction is Packers 23 and Titans 30. So, Packers fans, I know Green Bay has a strong run defense, but I thought it would stop Ezekiel Elliott 4 weeks ago, and that did not happen. So I do foresee DeMarco Murray having a game just like that. And as for Marcus Mariota, I'm throwing away those pick sixes he threw last week. That was just kind of sort of I feel like the first one was a little unlucky, but the second one was on him. Although I don't think it's gonna be an issue, although it very well can. Anyway, I do like his chances against the Packers secondary. Although I did like his chances against San Diego's secondary last week. But I think the Packers have just been a little bit too inconsistent for a while, and considering that they lost to the Colts last week, I think the Titans might have a pretty similar, if not pretty much the exact same game that Indianapolis had last week. But it's going to be a close game, and we can actually very see a pretty high offensive scoring shootout because these two teams have really good offenses. Moving on, we have the Vikings and the Redskins, and my prediction is Vikings 17 and Redskins 21. So, I'm sorry, Vikings fans, but the injuries that were on offense that were suffered at the start of the season are taking their toll. So, the momentum is gone, and I just can't see Minnesota's offense scoring enough points to win this game, even if the defense limits Kirk Cousins to some extent. And speaking of the defense, I think the only way I can see Minnesota winning is if the secondary gets 2 pick sixes on Kirk Cousins, which isn't impossible, but it's just too bold of a prediction for me to predict. So I'm going to stick with the Redskins. Next we have the Bears and the Buccaneers, and I am going Bears 16 and Buccaneers 29. So I think this game is going to give Tampa Bay a chance just to recatch some of their momentum after that blowout on Thursday, and I think Jameis Winston will be good enough to outshine Jay Cutler and the Bears. I still have some faith in the Buccaneers offense for this season, so I don't think I'm going to be picking against them against Chicago. Anyway, so that's for the Bears and Buccaneers, and we now move on to the Chiefs and the Panthers, which I think is a pretty interesting game. And I think it's going to be pretty close. And my score choice is Chiefs 22 and Panthers 24. So while I do see the Chiefs secondary limiting Cam Newton to some extent in this game, I just was not impressed with Kansas City last week. I thought they should have handled the Jaguars pretty well with some ease, and it was actually pretty close. So after that performance, I don't think they're going to be able to fully stop a hot Panthers team if they were only able to hold Jacksonville to a pretty small degree. So I'm sorry, Chiefs fans, but I refuse to pick the Chiefs this week. Simple as that. Now we have the Falcons and the Eagles, and my prediction is Falcons 34 and Eagles 28. So I think the Eagles might actually kind of in the same boat as the Chiefs, to be honest, just because not because of last week. So not only did they kind of blow some great opportunities given to them by the Giants. Sorry, Eagles fans, I don't like to say the word blow, but it was kind of ugly. So not only that, but they've all of a sudden kind of became a pretty cold out, kind of blue. I did not expect to see this after the beginning of the season, which was really awesome coming from a Cowboys fan. But I just don't think the Eagles will have enough firepower on offense just to beat the outstanding Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry, Falcons are too good of a team for the Eagles in this one, so I'm going to be sticking with them. Moving on, we got Broncos and Saints, and my prediction is Broncos 23 and Saints 27. Well, here we go, and I kind of believe that this game is going to feature many of the aspects that we saw between the Seahawks and the Saints game 2 weeks ago. Well, maybe not a player hugging a referee, which is still funny in my opinion to this day. Anyway, as good as Denver's front seven has been this whole season, I think Drew Brees is going to expose the Broncos secondary and is going to dish multiple passing touchdowns to all of his options. He's got really good targets this year. Although there's one thing that I'd like to mention. Despite having an awesome game last week, I think Mark Ingram is going to get kind of shut down this game. But passing offense will do it for the Saints, and they will come up with the win. Alright, so next we have Texans and Jaguars, and my choice is Texans 19 and Jaguars 26. So, to this day, I want an explanation why Chris Ivory did not get a touchdown on that run and make that game against the Chiefs closer with much more time left than when the Jaguars actually were able to put up 14 points. But they could have had 14 points with much more time left. And on top of that, so while I see the Jaguars seeking redemption from that, the Texans are just a pretty poor team on the road, while they're really consistent at home. And if you don't believe me, just look at the Texans' schedule. So, anyway, I think Blake Bortles will have a better game than Brock Osweiler here, and I think the Jaguars are going to upset the current AFC South leaders. Alright, now we have the Cowboys and the Steelers, and my prediction is Cowboys 34 and Steelers 38. So, Ben Roethlisberger has the ability to have bounce-back games. You remember what he did against the Chiefs back in, I think it was week 3? So I'm expecting the Steelers offense to have a great game against a pretty questionable Dallas secondary, as much as I don't want to say that. But do not count out my Cowboys. They have a shitload of momentum. They've won 7 in a row, and they're one of, if not the hottest NFC team right now. So this is going to be a high-scoring shootout, but my gut is telling me that Pittsburgh is still a strong AFC team, and I'm going to go with the Steelers. Next up, we got Dolphins and Chargers, and my prediction is Dolphins 27 and Chargers 33. So, Dolphins have been pretty impressive lately, and when I kind of didn't really expect it, although, kind of like the Texans, They have not won a road game yet this season, while they've won all but one game at home, and that was against the Titans a few weeks ago. So, since they just have not won a road game yet this season, and based on that spectacular game that the Chargers put up last week against, ironically, the Titans, I'm really liking the chances for San Diego, specifically their offense in this game. And in the end, I just think it'll be too much for Miami's defense and as well as Miami's offense just to catch up to. Alright, so now we have the 49ers and Cardinals, and my prediction is 49ers 3, Cardinals 20. I mean, do I really need to explain here? The 49ers offense and defense just sucks, period, and they're not going to be able to pull off a road upset against a good divisional rival like the Cardinals. Come on. Sorry, 49ers fans. Moving on. We go to Sunday Night Football, and it's Seahawks and Patriots, Super Bowl rematch from 2 seasons ago, and my prediction is Seahawks 17 and Patriots 34. So I think this is actually a great game for Sunday Night Football, but I don't foresee Seattle getting revenge on the Patriots for Super Bowl 49. The Patriots, in my opinion, are the best team in football right now, while the Seahawks, specifically their offense, has just been too inconsistent to a too significant degree. And also, I kind of feel that the results and the reaction that we all saw from the game on Monday Night Football last week is going to detract the Seahawks here. Yeah, so I'm going Patriots again. Sorry, Seattle fans. And lastly, Monday Night Football, it's Bengals and Giants, which I think is going to be also a very good game. And my prediction is Bengals 31, Giants 28, game-winning field goal for the Bengals. There, I said it. If you've been looking for a bold prediction in this video, there it is. So I think this is a very even game. However, the Giants definitely have much more momentum. But they've had the tendency to lose some games from costly plays toward the end of the games, and I won't be surprised if that happens again, although Giants even have been very well. And actually, speaking about costly plays, that almost was the case last week against the Eagles, although then the Eagles just kind of coughed up the ball. Not really much else to say for that. So, anyway, I see this being a hard-fought Monday Night Football game, with Cincinnati Bengals stealing a road win at the very end of this game and are en route just to try to get on top of that AFC North division. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Those are my Week 10 predictions, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you. And hopefully it's with Windows Movie Maker, because I don't want to do this. I'm sorry.